Okay, let's talk about one of the most frustrating things that can happen with your car. The engine starts overheating, and you have no idea why. Well, you'll be happy to know the fix is often way simpler than you think, and we're going to walk you right through it.
Does this sound familiar? You're driving along and suddenly that temperature gauge is creeping into the red. Or maybe it's winter and your heater is just blowing ice cold air at you. These are the classic signs of a problem that feels like a huge mystery, but it's actually pretty straightforward once you know what to look for.
So let's get right into it. The best way to think about this whole situation is to imagine your car is a patient, and right now, it's got a really, really high fever. That spiking temperature gauge, that's the number one most urgent symptom. Just like a high fever in a person is a huge red flag, this is your car telling you it can't cool itself down properly. And if you ignore it, you could be looking at some serious engine damage down the road.
Okay, so to properly diagnose our patient, we need to look past just the fever. We've got to check for all the other little symptoms that go along with it. When you put them all together, they paint a very clear picture of what's going on. Take a look at this list. Every single one of these things points to the exact same root cause. The heater blowing cold? That's a huge clue, you know? It means hot coolant isn't even making it to the heater inside your dashboard. And those weird gurgling sounds from behind the dash? Yeah, you are literally hearing the problem. That's air and coolant sloshing around where only coolant should be.
And here it is, the official diagnosis, an air pocket. See, this usually isn't some big, scary, expensive part like a water pump or a thermostat that's failed. Nope. It's just a stubborn bubble of air that's gotten trapped, acting like a roadblock in the system. This blockage stops the coolant from flowing, and that's why one part of your engine gets dangerously hot while your heater stays stone cold. Which leads us to the next logical question, right? Your car's cooling system is supposed to be totally sealed. So how on earth did air get in there? It has to have come from somewhere. Let's look at the usual suspects. By far, the number one reason this happens is an improper coolant refill. I mean, if this whole problem started right after you or a shop topped off the coolant, it's almost a guarantee that's your culprit. Air just got trapped during the refill. Of course, you could also have a tiny leak in a hose or a bad radiator cap, but you should always check that recent service history first. All right, now for the good part. We've diagnosed the illness, we know the likely cause, and now we get to the cure. And the best part is, this is a fix that a lot of people can do themselves, right in their own driveway. The entire goal here is just to get that trapped air bubble out so that pure liquid coolant can fill that space and get flowing again. We just have to give that air an escape route. The terms bleeding or burping the system might sound a little weird, I know, but they're actually the perfect words for what we're doing. We're just relieving the pressure and letting the air out. Now, there are two main ways you can do this. The funnel method is kind of the universal approach. You get a special no-spill funnel that locks onto your radiator, fill it up, and run the engine. It's kind of cool. You can literally watch the big air bubbles burp their way out. But some cars make it even easier. They have a little bleeder valve, which is just a tiny screw you can open up to let the trapped air hiss out. You'll definitely want to check what your specific car has. Okay, let's put this all together into a quick guide. Think of this as the high-level game plan. It's not a super detailed shop manual, of course, but it'll give you a really clear idea of the basic steps to get this done. I cannot stress this enough. Step 1 is the most important part. Start with a completely cold engine. Never, ever open the radiator cap on a hot or even warm engine. From there, it's really just a process of opening the system up, starting the car so the coolant starts to circulate, and then patiently watching for all that air to bubble its way out. Once the bubbles stop and you just see a steady stream of coolant, you're all done. And really, it all comes down to this one simple idea. Your car's cooling system is designed to work perfectly, but it needs pure liquid coolant to do it. All we're doing is getting that air out of the way so the system can finally do its job again. So, the next time your car is acting up, remember this. Sometimes the most alarming, scary-looking problems have the simplest solutions. It kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other huge car problems out there are just hiding a surprisingly simple fix that we just don't know about yet? Thanks for watching.